Just very kind of patient movements here by Plague. Although he just ate a rocket to the face. Expo coming out with an LG. Almost has Expo down with a rail, but Expo prevailing 10-3. And we've got 7 frags to pull through for Expo. Let's see if Plague can recover. Expo dodging rockets here, down to 26 health. And is able to, well, die. Plague is able to land a rocket, 11-3. And folks, that Mega Health was sitting there for ages. Expo finally picked it up. Both players really just not focused on the items. They just want to kill each other. Of course, I guess that's why they call it deathmatch. But, you know, nice land by Plague. Lining up a shot on the resource that he knew Expo would want to grab. And just, you know, landing that shot on the health ball. He's going to try and do it again. Actually, you know, that's something I want to suggest, you know, to new players who are, you know, wondering why they're always getting their ass kicked. You know, if you make any sort of telegraph movements to resources, you know, better players, they know that. They know that you're going to, you know, when they damage you, that you're going to be like, oh, well, let me go grab that health in the middle of this fight. And it's really not very sneaky. So as you can see, these guys are just kind of you know, shooting at the armor, even though none of them is going to pick it up, because they're anticipating the movement to it. So, yeah, if you're new to the game, that's something to kind of think about. Sometimes your opponent is not really what you want to aim at. You want to aim at what they might be going for. Doesn't always work, but it's something to incorporate in this strategy. Expo getting a nice rail on Plague as he dropped down. Plague's lost his armor. He's able to dodge that rail and pick up red without any contention or damage. 11-3 as we wind this round down. Plague is going to hang on to the crown to Expo, unable to topple him. A pair of rails and make it a hat trick. Plague able to pick up the 12th frag against Expo. Accuracy of 30% for Plague, and of course he did that quite mostly with the railgun, so that does indeed show up as his best weapon.
For new players too, that's what happens when you don't use your sound.
Yeah, that too. There we go. We got Distraught back in after he DC'd. So, alright, we're gonna see a little bit of almost lost, and looks like we're ready to go. And I'm hoping, come on, Distraught, stay connected, my friend. You can do it. 3, 2, 1. You can be in this. You can be a contender. All right. And he is indeed in the server. He didn't drop this time. Very cool. We've got Plague gonna line up LG against Distraught. And we got the Mega Health grab by Plague. Item control pretty much in Plague's hand at the moment. Distraught doesn't have much. He's gonna try to go up with a shotgun and not landing enough damage on Plague. I'm gonna go take a look at Distraught. Distraught mentioned before he decided to play that he's not the best at 1v1, and you got to start somewhere. I'm gonna take a look at him here, see how he's doing on timing and things like that. His movement is not too bad. Yeah, and he knows to stay out of the line of sight there with that rail. That was a nice choice there by Distraught. Plague, though, able to land one there. Distraught needing armor, he's going to go grab it. And he's going to get railed in the ass, make it twice. That rail kind of threw off his movement, and he got a little stuck at the corner there. Plague is going to get a spawn frag here, potentially. Looks like Plague's going to back off a little bit. Back over to Plague. Plague's waiting on armor. Plague almost railing Distraught as he came through that archway. He's able to land one there as Distraught was coming around the the wall of that that area, and Plague lands 2 rails, getting his score up to 4. And Distraught goes into the negatives, using the rocket launcher a bit too close to his opponent, and blow himself up 4 to -1. Seeing another face-off here, and it looks like Plague's lost most of his armor, but he's able to pull down Distraught with a shotgun of 5 to -1. Distraught coming out and getting railed immediately, has lost their armor, 31 health. Plague gonna try to land another one, and Plague just runs away. This is where, you know, honestly, I'd love to see Plague maybe enable handicap even at this point, because you know he can tell that he's better. You know, you can tell with the smileys and the way that he's kind of running away in the middle of a fight. This is where you enable handicap and you try to make it a little bit more sporting, a little bit more challenging for you. You know, make it so that rail only does about 50 damage instead of the norm. So we're looking at Distraught peeking out and getting railed once again. Plague very solid with peeking around and landing shots as Distraught goes through any of the archways. So we're seeing Plague feeling very comfortable with those types of shots. Has Plague down to about, well, he got a little bit of health. Back down to 24 health here. And Distraught getting back to 0, 7-0. Plague goes down. But there's the mega health, and I think Plague's going to be able to cut off Distraught here. There it is. That mega health is going to keep Plague alive. And we got Distraught screaming in pain. Down he goes. Plague replenishes rail, which has been his most effective weapon of the night. Yeah, that mega health is going to keep Plague alive, and the close range shotgun is going to pull down Distraught for the 9th time.
I think Distraught has played too much CA. He seems to be running after everybody, and he's not really worried about any of the items or anything like that. I think that's where he needs to work. Just comes with time and stuff. You know, when you're starting dueling, you need to get down the timing. So learn map control, because it's a lot different from CA, which a lot of players play.
Yeah, and it's a fine art to master. I mean, I think sometimes people don't realize how difficult it really is, and some of that is made. It looks easy because we've got guys showing up every week that have been doing it for like 10 years. Okay, with the exception of like maybe Rafa. Most of the guys that play, in our sort of upper tier King of the Hill stuff, they've been dueling since Quake 3, so it's just sort of second nature to them. But learning how to take 3 separate items, it's usually at least 3. You got usually 2 armors and then maybe a mega health on a map, on a dueling map, and able to take all those items and know exactly when to show up, so that you're not skipping a beat, you're not losing time, you're not sitting there exposed for too long. It's all something that takes a long time to learn, and it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. I mean, like, most people are like me, I think, that I can time maybe 3 things. If it's anything beyond that, I just kind of go, I'll show up and see if it's there. I mean, like, after 3, I'm just lost.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I just started trying to get into dueling because, well, it's just fun, and CA is only fun for so long, and then you start to get bored of it. So, getting into it is sort of like learning a whole nother game almost. It's a lot different from everything else. Yeah.
Just to reply to what's going on in IRC, I did not mean to imply that Rafa started playing with Quake Live. What I meant to say was that he wasn't like one of the guys to play, Quake 3 from the very beginning. He played a lot of, I think it was Unreal Tournament or something like that. So his first game wasn't Quake 3. And